Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. Welcome to session 6. And we hope this will be as insightful and challenging as previous sessions. So my name's Rudi Page as the moderator. Before we go to our first speaker in Canada, Professor Mohammed Alam, I would just like to put a challenge to the young people here in the audience in terms of, we want 3 key questions from young people. What is it that you require from us? What do you want to get from a conference like this? Because I think, as touched on in the last session, it's important that the academic world do keep in mind the people, and young people in particular, at the heart of their thinking. So during the very short coffee break, we spoke with Marie. Where's Marie? And Marie said that she had a question. So we can quickly take that before we go to Canada, Marie.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. So, I was speaking to you earlier. My question is, what are you guys doing for the youth? I know you're focusing on mostly, a lot of people are focusing around the world, but the youth right now is what's most important. I know myself, my colleagues, my friend here, we go to the University of East London. What our university does is focuses on us and younger people. I study law with international relations, and what we're focusing on is usually poverty in third world countries and how us youth can volunteer in those countries. I'm asking you, how can you guys help us get to that place? How can you guys help us get to helping others that are in need more than we are needed? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Are there any other questions from young people? Right to my right-hand side and then to my left there.
I just wanted to ask, how can academics encourage and inspire us as the youth to listen to the ideas and theories they cultivate?
Great question.
Hi, I'm Madison. My question is directed towards more engagement, really, with the youth and being able to have more opportunity to expand our horizons and be more involved, and for, I guess, more of the government and for higher organizations to involve the youth a bit more in their projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd now like to go to Professor Mohammed Alam, Yorkville University in Canada, and you have 15 minutes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well today. My respected colleagues and everyone there in the audience. Unfortunately, I can't see you, but I hope you can see us. I just wanted to begin by thanking Professor Alam for allowing us to participate in Skype, even though unfortunately, we couldn't make it to London on time. I'm here today with my father, Dr. Mohammed Nurul Alam, and my name is Nurulayn Noor. I'm currently pursuing a law degree at the University of Ottawa. So today we will be discussing Islamic banking and Islamic banking finance. I'm just going to open the slide here. Great. So this case is particularly, our research study focuses on Sudan, Kenya, Turkey, Cyprus, and Bangladesh. The discussion points today, we will go over a brief concept of Islamic banking finance. Some of you may not know what it is or have a complete idea on exactly what it is. We will be discussing the countries that we researched, that we got our data from, our quantitative, qualitative data, the different banks in these 5 countries that were interviewed, the concept of the different networks that were developed throughout the research process, the research methodology we used, the theoretical perspective, the empirical review, and then we shall be concluding our presentation. So as you can see here, we have a map, several images of the different countries with Bangladesh. It's a little blurry, the one on the left top corner. We have Kenya, Cyprus, Turkey, and then we have Sudan on the bottom right corner here. So just going over the basic concept of Islamic banking. In simple terms, it's more or less just a form of banking which strictly adheres to the Islamic law, Sharia law, which all of you may know. And this also revolves around a strict no-interest policy. So as it says here, it's conditioned to operate all its activities without interest. So we interviewed several different banks in the 5 nations discussed. In Sudan, we interviewed the Sudanese Islamic Bank. And in Kenya, it was the First Community Bank. So as you can see here, there's a chart, and there are several banks listed under Turkey. And that would be the only nation in which we conducted interviews from 5 banks. All of the rest of the other countries were specifically 1. So in Turkey, it was the SME Finance Kurum, Basel Finance Institution, Al Baraka Turkish Finance House, Kuwait Turkish Evkaf Finance House, Anadolu Finance Institution. In Cyprus, it was the Basel Islamic Bank Kibris in Lefkoşa. In Bangladesh, it was the Islamic Bank of Bangladesh. So as you can see here, it's evident that we've gotten a lot more information from Turkey as we interviewed the senior staff in each bank, but specifically within the nation of Turkey. But throughout the notion, throughout the different concepts of Islamic banking, throughout the entire process, we were able to come up with different networks, as you can see over here. So going over the personal network to begin with, an example of this would be between the client bank and the customer. So that would be from individual to individual. And then we have the symbolic network. And again, that says the religion, political, ethnic group. So for example, within the Muslim communities, within the Christian communities of faith, within these communities, the network was created. And then we have the social network. And over here we have culture, family, clan, relatives, and friends. So this would be within a similar circle, a circle of familiarity, individuals who know each other on more, whether it's a personal level, within friendships, within families. And then we have the intra-organizational network. Again, quite self-evident, close ties among workers within the organization, so strictly within the organization, no one outside or beyond that network. And then we have the inter-organizational network, the network between different organizations, so that would be from one to the next, not within, such as the previous one, from one organization to the next. And I will be handing the mic over to my father.
Hello, everybody. It is great for me to be with you today. It's a good morning to all of you. It is unfortunate we can't see all of you, but you can see us on our slides. The continuation of the same topic with the Islamic banking finance in different 5 countries, where we interviewed the bank and also some clientele of the bank. Research methodologies conducted face-to-face interviews, and the question asked based on the questionnaires, the prepared questionnaire. It is mainly that we try to find that how they contact the clients and or the network relationship in between them and also different organizations, bank and customer relationships. And then while conduct interview that in different countries, I had to face problems of in Sudan. I need to take help of the students in Sudan Islamic University who translated Arabic into English. And Turkey, the same thing, that take a lot of time for them to express themselves in English. Then in Cyprus, a little bit better. In Bangladesh, I had to translate things in English from the Bengali, and then in Kenya, as I was in Kenya for about 6 years, so I know a little bit Swahili. So when they express them, I could understand. So it is a very interesting data collection tour of Asia, Europe, and then African continents. For every customers, the class, these bank officials spend 2 to 3 hours to collect the data. Now, this is actually an institution network model. As Dr. Alam, he kindly mentioned that it took a lot of struggle and trouble to finish the PhD on Islamic banking, and in Sweden. Those people are very kind, and they give all sorts of support to go around the globe, collect data, and to prove that Islamic bank really work, and it gives the solutions to the financial problems in a particular community and society. So my institutional network model. In this model, actually, I tried to see how network grows between Islamic bank and small entrepreneurs. So this is the organizational field. This is the two organizations, small entrepreneurs and Islamic bank. So this is how I worked and collected data. And then the next one, how both the process for the Islamic bank and small entrepreneurs, that in social sector, in institutions like country, culture, religion, family, government, legal system, okay? Now, how the network relationship works there. It is completely different from commercial bank. The networking system here is completely different because in Islamic bank, due to the Musharaka system, partnership system, they work very closely with each other. It is not just to give the money and wait for the interest or the principal to be refunded, but much more than that. So based on this, I collected data and I tried to prove that how the bank works. So the idea of this the banking system, the giving loan, in almost all countries they are safe. They get the application, they evaluate the proposal. So lots of application comes, but they take the definitive that which is having a social impact and benefit. And then how the proposal acceptance, there are every bank, they have got their specialized bodies. And then joint contribution for the project, bank and the client, they share the loans, the different kinds of loans, how they give. Then the most important thing that bank, after giving loan, do not sit idle. They visit each other and they promote the business. Customer contacts bank officials often, and then direct supervision of borrowed funds. This is the most important aspect of Islamic banking finance to small and medium entrepreneurs. The direct supervision of borrowed funds. They directly supervise and they see the trend of the investment, what is going, how they are working. The repayment of loans, in almost all countries I found it is wonderful. The repayment is very good unless there is any calamities or the natural problem comes. The next one, this is some of the practical implications, the big article, so a little bit is taken from there, how they contact the customers. So it is found that in Sudan and Bangladesh and Kenya, Turkey and Cyprus, you can see the slide, 90%, 80%, 75%, 60%, 55%. So more than 50%, the contact is directly. They directly communicate with customers. Telephone and fax, in some countries, they are not much developed, but still they are going on. In Turkey and Cyprus, I saw they're a little bit more developed, so they're using that one. Email, that now these days, email system is also there, but small and medium entrepreneurs, they are mostly rural, so they might not have a lot of email access, so it doesn't work very much. In other means, it is like that through friends. In some countries, they communicate to customers through mosque, religious and political, the centers, the persons, they have time to contact with them. The next one, that the extent of the bank-customer relationship. So I found that it is actually very strong in Sudan. So it is now the customer access to senior staff, always, anytime they can access there. In Bangladesh, they have access, but still some limitation. In Kenya, because of so many security reasons, they have some limitation. Turkey and Cyprus, they always try to maintain that the customer's relationship access a little bit formal. And visit of bank staff to customers. And this is also, Sudan is playing a very big role. As I saw in one family, Mosharaka manager always used to visit 15 days after, used to observe and see what type of work she's doing, how she did, encourage is giving the motivation, wonderful. And then guide to customers. And almost all banks, they guide customers how to promote their business. And then also, very many banks, they assist customers to promote their products because there is interest of the bank. Whenever they get success, banks get the profit. Next. Just I'm taking the next slide. Not here. So next slide.
You have 2 minutes, Dr. Alam, Professor.
Alam,
Two minutes.
Because it is not taking more than 15. So the next one, you can go to the. Yeah. So let's reach the next slide. I have empirical side. I discussed a little bit, and then now the next one is most important. That what I have seen actually. What is the result of this the data collection and of this research? That the Musharaka system is working tremendously in Sudan, and they have a very big success. And then when I went to the Islamic Bank head office, I got very surprised. I had a story. I was asking a gentleman, can I talk to the director? So that telling yes, why not? You are most welcome. Then we all together took that time of Salat Zohar was there, and we prayed together, and he was represented there. So I thought he might be the imam of the bank. He told, let us go and visit the director.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is it okay?
Right. Are there any questions? Could any questioners please come to the front? If you can come now. If you're going to ask a question, please come up now, and then it'll just save a bit of time.
Hello, good day, Professor.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, my name is Paul from University of East London. I have 2 questions, but I believe all are related. One, I want to believe Islamic banking, as I understand it, is based on wealth creation. If that's the understanding, I want to know, since it's not an interest-based transaction, how do you get the funds together the pool of funds from where it's given out to customers? I say customers cautiously here because I know if it's customer relationship, it should be 2 ways beneficial to the 2 parties. But how do you put the fund together? Is it from individuals or corporations? And relatively, how do you check the use of Islamic banking vis-a-vis the challenges of terrorist financing? I say this from my understanding of study in counterterrorism and transnational organized crime. How do you check Islamic banking in relation to the challenges of terrorist financing? And thirdly, by the name Islamic Islamic banking, is it open to non-Islam?
Thank you so much, my dear. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for your question. The first question answer I am giving to you that the same question I was asked when I
the whole session. The whole class.
The Islamic Bank.
Oh, okay.
Is it okay?
Switch. Yes, yes, okay.
From what Islamic Bank gets funds. So surprisingly, that I have data in Indonesia about the benefit of Islamic Bank when they started talking within 1 hour, millions of dollars they raised. So Islamic Bank raised funds by selling shares in the market, the way the other bank they do. Now, 35 years in Bangladesh. So the Bangladesh Islamic Bank has got the most highest investment by public Islamic people. So they buy shares, and now this big crisis that they cannot even satisfy the public's demand, the share they. So everybody should know that Islamic Bank raise funds through selling shares. It is not an individual's fund. So then they contribute and they give loan to the public. The second question that you asked, the second one was?
Professor, can you show your big screen? You have to click from your side.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. So what I'm trying to tell, the second question that how the bank, the second question what you was asking that how the bank work with I give an example to you in Sudan. It is how the bank manage Musharaka system. That means the complete system is on profit sharing basis. So the one family that one came to the bank and they asked that whatever you have that you give us. So the bank now started negotiating. So it is like that. Now suppose I am in Canada, I bought the house from Islamic Finance. So that is the house which I bought. So I gave 25%, Islamic Bank gave 75%. So this house, in this community, it has got a rent system. So every month, I deposit rent to the bank. And all other expenses, it's me who is to bear because I'm staying in the house. So now, the bank takes from that rent 75%, I take 25%. So one is start giving the capital, then the ratio start changing. The same way, the bank give fund to the small business and then the sharing basis. So how much capital the client has given and how much the bank has given. So this both of them, now they work together. And I give an example to you. The partnership manager of Sudanese Islamic Bank used to go after 15 days to their clients and then give the accounts and see what they are doing. And the products they produce, a sample they bring to the bank, and besides the bank there is a showroom, and they used to put in the showroom. And other customers, when they used to come, they used to show them. And then they used to become their customers because it is cheap and also it is smart and beautiful than the market. So this is the way that they promote. So that means they work together continuously. And then there is no problem of the tussle because it is a sort of now social benefit for both sides. It is a mutual help. This is what, visiting 5 countries, I have seen how these banks smoothly working with the small entrepreneurs. And the last one that which you asked, that terrorist matter, because it is a question of now social services. So you see, among million, when a few people, just I give an example to you. Yesterday, 2 million people attended in Toronto. 2 million people attended in Toronto to receive the raptors when they are coming from USA. After 25 years, they became champion. See, and that 2 million people, suddenly 2 people they shooted. And because of the shooting, now 4 people they get stuck. They were injured. A burning example I am giving to you, my dear. So these 2 people are caught. In which religion they might be? Because of this 2%, we cannot blame the entire community of mankind. If they are even Christian, we cannot blame the Christian. If they are black, we cannot blame the black. If they are white, we cannot blame the white. If they are Muslim, we cannot blame the billions of Muslims. So terrorism is a very the negligible percentage on earth. It is the media, which making everybody mad. So the way I saw, millions of people, they are getting benefit from Islamic Bank and no relationship with the terrorist fund. No, in Bangladesh, there are now 60 to 70 million people now. So there are 160 million people in Bangladesh now. So now there is no risk that Islamic Bank finance to any terrorist organization. It is not. They are changing drastically the social and economical structure of a country by helping people. And this is what Islam says. Help yourself and help others, bring peace and harmony on society. So I think it is clear to you that no funding in the terrorist side or no funding to kill innocent people on earth. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And there was a third point about open to non-Muslims.
Okay. Oh yes. So one question. You will be very happy to know that when I was interviewed, the same question I asked to the managing director of Islamic Bank in Bangladesh. Would you believe that one, my dear? Still, you can ask. Give a call to the director. He told the first customer of Bangladesh Islamic Bank is a Hindu. He is not Muslim. You see, this is a system. This is not Islam. If we now do business with you, I am sharing the profit. So when share the profit, there is no question of Muslim and non-Muslim. I was in Kenya. Can you be 75% customers in the Kenyan Islamic Bank are the non-Muslim. So that means why they are coming here? Because they saw the system is working well. It is helpful. So if I would not visit around the globe, I could not see. So that means Islam has a very broad way of thinking. In the mosque, we allow all religious people to come and pray. And the mosque is open for everybody. That's what our Prophet did. So the same thing, as I am giving an example, that the most pioneering bank in Bangladesh now, Islamic Bank Bangladesh, and the first customer of that bank is non-Muslim Hindu. And 75% of the customers in Kenya, you can go and see here, Kenyan Muslims are very few percent. 75% of customers I interviewed, I saw, they are non-Muslim. So it is a system, it is not Islam. Islamic system that is without interest, but based on profit sharing. So if you want to be a customer of Islamic Bank, I welcome you. Don't hesitate. That knock the door of any Islamic bank in UK, then you will see they will welcome you with a lot of things.
Thank you very much for that. We've got one more question, very quickly, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Hadil Abdulati. I'd like to first thank you for taking your time to share this information with us. I just needed a bit of clarification on when the information was collected, specifically with regards to Sudan, because as you may or may not know, the ex-dictator of Sudan, Omar al-Bashir, is currently being charged with corruption. So just so I could get some contextual idea or knowledge about the information you're sharing, I just wanted to know when the information was collected. Thank you very much.
Can you introduce yourself?
Thanks for your question. The day I went to Sudan to collect the data, I think that day he took the power. So you think now when I went there. So I had a problem. Now when some missionary people came from outside, they didn't get entrance in Khartoum Airport. I was in Munazamatul Dawa. So at that time I visited Omdurman and I interviewed many Islamic banking customers and also Islamic banking Omdurman and then Khartoum. One of the students from university, they helped. So now it is a long ago, but things change. But still, the system is continuing. And then you see in every country, the corruption is there. So people are being charged. When they are in power, they are not charged. When they are out of the power, they are charged. And you see now, you might have heard that one of the prime minister or president in Egypt, he died recently. So he was in jail, So now when they are in power, they are not having any problem. When they are without power, they have problems. So that was not our concern. But my concern is to whom I interviewed and what I saw and what I collected and what I have flashed and what I have gained experience. So still, whoever will come, that thing will continue because people in Sudan, they have a strong iman and faith and they will work properly. And then when somebody, the people in the political party, they do corruption, they will go, but the system will continue. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much for that.
Can you, sorry to interrupt you, the chair, can you introduce yourself? Because she had to take permission from the school to come here. She's a school student, so we really appreciate that. Just introduce yourself.
My name's Hadil Abdulati and I'm 15. I attend Arc Academy. I'm a student.
So nice. We are so happy to see you. Thank you.
Wallah, we appreciate that. Sorry, Chair, I'm really sorry.
No, it's very good because it's important to have the voice of young people. I mean, in fact, before you go, Professor Alam, what was the age of the youngest entrepreneur receiving money from the banking system? The youngest.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, youngest. Huh?
He asked you what is the youngest age of entrepreneur who receive money from the bank.
Oh, so they differ from country to country. They differ from country to country. So in certain country that they are even 18 years old, they are matured because they are hard life. They are working, and then you see whenever they receive money, they are not alone. Their parents, their family, they help. That's why this network is developing. That is what I start actually. So whenever they give loan to the young people are entitled to get loan. But at that time, their family, they come and they help. And because of that, in many countries, that like Yunus, the Nobel Prize owner in Bangladesh, he was my teacher. So the way he developed the organization. So as 18 years old, that means they are getting the loan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Then with Islamic Bank, the same.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, and we will just say goodbye now. Thank you very much.
May God bless all
we highly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So please remember, if we all help and do a little bit, it will make a big difference.